teaching how to read tarot cards, or how I read tarot cards. So, um, if you're working with a Rider-Waite deck or a Thoth tarot where it has suits and the four suits, wands, coins, cups, and the swords, then there is a thing that is kind of thing. So like if you have the Ace of Swords, it's a something happening. If you come to a Two of Swords, it's like it's not an action card. So like it's like a state of being card, kind of. It's not that anything is exactly happening. There's no forward. There's something happening, but there's no forward movement in that card. So if you like, what I mean is, even cards are stagnant cards, and odd cards are movement cards. Something is moving. So if I guess that's kind of all I really have to say about the Rider-Waite kind of traditional style of the tarot card. So if you see like somebody or something in the card, there's a figure, there's a being, then what does it look like to you? Like some people will have their different psychic senses activated by tarot cards. Some people will like even up to something, it'll look like someone, or you'll think that it looks like someone or it reminds you of someone. Or some people will actually see the tarot cards moving a little bit. Yeah, so if there's a being, who is it? Who is that person? And maybe that person actually stands for a bunch of people, or maybe that person stands actually for like some sort of abstract situational factor or something like that. And in the surroundings, if you can see the surroundings, what do those things look like to you? Um, what do those things look like? If you want to touch it, do you want to touch it or not? Does that person, which way do they want to move? If they don't want to move a certain way, can you tell which direction it is okay for them to move in or not? If you have an oracle card or like an oracle deck, it's almost a little bit harder to read, but I love oracle decks. I love them so much. I even love like playing cards, like the Favole playing cards. Like there's Favole, I don't know, E with the Favole with the thing on top. Yeah, they're gorgeous. I used to have a deck of playing cards by them. I think they do make tarot cards as well, but just the playing card deck, and you can, and all of the figures and stuff, and it's just, I love having like an assortment of tarot decks that have many different kinds of individuals in the oracle deck, and then you can see, because I have a problem with the Rider-Waite tarot deck is that And like a lot of tarot decks, like get tarot deck that looks like the characters could be you and your friends and people in your life. If you have a deck that doesn't look like you or doesn't look like any situation you could ever possibly be in, or like a resemblant of like emotion, like how like your style, your personal style, if it's not something that you're like, oh my god, this is so cool, like, you know, it's probably not going to read very well for you. It's probably going to be really hard to read. Like if it just doesn't look like any circumstance or any people in your life that it could ever end up being, then it just won't, maybe. So, you know, yeah. But how I like to read tarot cards, I love doing spreads in tarot cards, but it's not something that I typically do. That's only something that I've recently found works. Even like ones off the internet or anything that you find, and even if you do it yourself and you design a um, a formula, a layout that you like and the questions that you want to ask, you just put on those spots. And then you're like, oh, look, I found this new moon layout with all of my questions I want answered. And it probably will work. But the way I read tarot cards is I never let anything fall out of the, or I never flip over any tarot cards. I don't flip them over. I flip them over once they fall out of the deck. I shuffle until something falls out. I messily shuffle to allow the cards to get kind of sloppy and something will fall out of the tarot deck. If you're really good at shuffling or shuffling cards, this might not be work out great for you. But I mean, it's just my method. Anyways, so I'll put those cards into the layout. If there's extra cards, then there's extra cards. And those might be something that you would see as a continuance or something that you might want to layer under those cards in order to give them more references to what's going on. So now we're reading all of this instead of just this. And then continue your layer until it's full. And yeah, it's really simple, you know, but I'm not going to teach you what the cards mean because you know what, they could mean different things. Anything could mean a different thing, you know, I mean, really, it's just pictures. So get a few tarot decks and find some nice oracle cards that are just, you know, kind of odd, and just try to find something that you really, ooh, I want that tarot card, like, enjoy, is suitable to your aesthetic. You know, it's something you love, because if you don't love it, you're not gonna love reading it. And that's why we do it, right? I mean, we want answers and whatever we want, but we love sitting down and reading cards. So, happy scrying. And good night.